Big round of applause for the jury that we have over here. They might seem innocent right now, but definitely they can be secret ninjas if they have to be. Trust me, I've stood in front of them many times and we still get nervous. So, like I said, please be nervous, guys. Yeah, so let me just introduce the jury for you. And let's give a thunderous applause to Sameer Jain, President India. Nitin Saini, VP Marketing, Mondelez India. Desmond D'Souza, Senior Director, Sales, Mondelez India. Nagina Singh, Senior Director, People Lead, Mondelez India. Sonali Mitra, Director, Strategy, Mondelez India. Now, before we get into the things set rolling, what I would just want to have a word with Sameer over here. So, Sameer, you want to come on the stage with us? So, big round of applause, guys. So, Sameer, thank you for joining us here today. Before we get into it, I know this is the first time you're going to experience Mondelez Maestros. So, any thoughts, any expectations, and any words of wisdom for the boys and girls over here?
Sure, I think thanks and welcome first of all to the Mondelez office, and really heartfelt thanks for the energy which you have showed in over the last few months in preparing for this competition. As whatever I came to know, I think this is 4th year, 30 campuses, and 13,000 plus students now participating. Yeah. Wow, it looks like a really a staggering number. I think the big difference what I was figuring out is that this is, and I was speaking to a few of you, was it's not about any of the competition. I think the difference was probably, a few of you spoke about, was the fact that you got a chance to interact with the consumers. And I think that's where I think the crux, in terms of when you're starting to work on sales and marketing field, I think interacting with the consumers or the customers out there in the field is extremely important. And this is where I think the competition was a bit different compared to the past. You got a chance to have a first-hand feel of what real life looks like. It's very, very different from what you love in the textbook and in the lectures out there. So I think as you go along the way, you realize the importance of what work you've done so far. It also gives us a chance, I would say, is to interact with a very diverse set of students and campuses across. I don't think we physically go to 30 campuses for recruitment, but talent in India exists everywhere. So this kind of a competition gives us a platform to interact with young minds, diverse minds across the entire country. I think also from your perspective, you would have got a chance to interact with senior people in the industry, the mentors out here who are sitting in front of you, and probably would have got a chance to learn a lot from them. Well, I was still surprised at the fact that none of you have been able to open the wrapper so far. I don't know how you can't control it. I've already eaten so far 2 nutties, full boxes of out there. So I think as this team is sitting out here to roast you out there, I think this is one thing which will help you probably, release the tension. I think there's a lot of 5 stars out there. Okay, please feel free to eat, enjoy all the stuff. This is a tough jury out here. Veterans out there, some of them are a little biased, I understand, to their own campuses probably. You would have realized, okay, but that's I'm just saying in zest, okay. I'll be here for some time, not for the whole time. So I'm not here to roast you, I'll just be observing the team roasting you and the other team roasting out there. Have fun, very importantly, and enjoy our next 2 hours. Okay, kudos.
Thank you, Sameer.
Thank you, Sameer. Nitin, a word from you as well. Can you tell us no, it's can answer from there. Could you tell us a little bit about the case that we have introduced for the candidates over here, as in what was the thinking behind it and how are we looking forward in terms of taking the plans ahead?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, again, welcome everyone. So looking forward to a nice, exciting next 85 minutes. So the case really, as you can see, is about winning in dark with Boneville. And really the reason we picked this one was, I would say 2 things. Firstly, we wanted to give a case that talks about a live business challenge. This is definitely a challenge and an opportunity that we see, which is how do you build relevance for dark chocolate in India with Boneville. And the second reason why we picked this one was because it's a commercial case, and we wanted people to look at all levers, all commercial levers across sales and marketing. So this definitely, again, provides people with that opportunity. And again, I'm hoping to see how people have done on this. So again, all the best.
Yeah, I guess definitely a crash course in marketing if there ever was one. Des, a question for you as well. besides being biased to the Excel team, the other thing that I would want to check with you is, you were part of the experience last year as well. What are your expectations from the team this time around?
Yeah, again, welcome everyone who's here, and congratulations to the 5 teams who've made it amongst the 11,000 people who actually participated. So a big round of applause to you for making it here. This is probably my third Maestros that I'm part of, and every single year the experience just gets better. I think the teams, the amount of rigor they put in terms of the work that they show up with, and also the lateral thinking that we expect them to show and they come up with, I think has been quite astounding. So the expectation is simple, that hopefully you've made use of all the resources that have been given to you, and you're not telling us something that we already know, and you're actually telling us already that this is a great bundle that we had never thought of, and you're presenting that one. Yeah? All right.
Like I said, guys, please be prepared. Don't get fooled by the smiles, right? Thank you, Des. Again, I want to acknowledge a few people who made the entire case possible. The teams have been working with you, mentoring you to arrive at understand the problem and get a real hands-on feel of what we do over here in the office. So please welcome or just acknowledge guys over here. Some of them have not been able to be here physically, but they'll be joining us remotely. So TK Srikanteshwaran, we have Ashwin Chandran over here with us. We have Arnab over here. And also special mentions to Rohita and Apur, who were part of the team. Yeah. So thank you each and every one of you taking time out through your day jobs and helping the young minds over here. So thanks a lot. Yeah. So before we go ahead, Arnab, just wanted to understand from you, how do you feel the journey has been, the Maestro journey has been for the candidates over here? Would you just want to share your thoughts?
For them, it was a journey for us as well. It was quite interesting. I mean, the way it all got started and what we are going to see today. I think there's a long journey, and I think Samir said that it's not only about marketing, it's not only about sales, it's also about understanding consumers, it's also about understanding customers. So yeah, I felt it was quite interesting, both in terms of a journey and what you saw right at the beginning and what we are going to see today. Yep, all the best, guys.
Yep. Thank you, Arnab. I guess definitely, I'm sure you guys would have immersed yourselves in the consumer's shoes and tried to think like a consumer and not like a brand manager. So yeah, Ashwin, just wanted to understand from you, what have been your key takeaways from the type of submissions that these guys have done? Just any reflection, any thoughts?
Yeah. So I think, like I said, it's a live business problem, what Nitin mentioned, right? And it's always good to have a fresh perspective, and it was good to see that coming across through a lot of submissions that came in this year. Yeah. It was also a commercial case, so it was interesting to have, perspectives on trade, consumer, etc., and some good amount of lateral thinking that came in as well. So quite excited about the presentations for today and the recommendations that come our way.
Superb, guys. Thank you. Before we get to the presentations, one last mention also definitely to the past winners of the last 2 editions of Mondelez Maestros, who are now on board as the Taste the Future Management Trainees. So a big shout out to Rohit Raj, hello, Manik, and Vineet. So yeah, how does it feel, guys? Any tips? Now that the tables have turned, anything that you want to tell the young minds over here?
Hi all. So it's half of my heart is racing right now because I can just remember how I felt last year when I was here. So I can totally understand how all of you are feeling. But I'm going to tell you how to calm your heart down, especially during the grand roast, because that is a fine jury in front of you who's going to do their best to poke holes into your ideas. But the key here is to identify your weaknesses and not focus on your strengths here. So everyone, all of the teams will poke holes into your idea, including the jury. But instead of irrationally running away from those criticisms, acknowledge those criticisms and take a mindset of, okay, how are we going to solve this? Identify those problems and see what solutions you can come up with, and that has to happen instantly, because you don't know what they're going to ask, but that will show the amount of clarity you have in your idea when those questions are asked and you acknowledge them well and come up with solutions for them. So yeah, work around those, and all the best.
Thank you. Great tip. Thank you. So yeah, gosh, there's nervousness. Not one pack of chocolate has been opened by these guys over here. So yes, I feel the tension as well. So let's not waste more time. I'll ask Shefali to take you through the rules quickly.
Thank you, Vinay. Now I'll share the rules for this competition. All questions, opinions and comments are to be restricted to the ideas presented and not towards a team or a student. Constructive criticism is allowed. However, personal attacks are a big no-no. All conversation should be parliamentary. Conversation jumping or speaking out of turn is not allowed. Format of the session would be 7 minutes for your pitch, 3 minutes for the shallow roast from the other teams, and 7 minutes of grand roasting by the jury. At the 6th minute, a warning bell will ring, and at the 7th minute, the final bell will ring, signaling that your time is out. For the shallow roast as well, we will sound a bell at the 3-minute mark to signal the end of the shallow roast. All ideas and how to win plans would be evaluated basis the following criteria: relevance, scalability, distinctive advantage, clarity of concept behind the idea, and presentation to the jury and performance. Now that we've got the lay of the land, let us dive into what we're most excited for, the roast and how it works. Over to you, Vinay.
Yes. So, like we said during the pitch, each team gets 7 minutes on the clock to present their pitch. All the team members must participate in the pitch. Since the shallow roast is only for 3 minutes, so other teams better be ready with your questions. So just be prepared. Yeah. Once again, I would say that we are live on YouTube. So if your friends are watching this, please keep the questions coming. Please keep cheering your team. We have Kritika, Roastmaster here, who is going to be observing the chat room over there. And if there are any good questions, definitely they will be featured over here. So without further ado, I've spoken a lot. Clearly, they gave me more than what Shefali got. So yeah, so let's start. So please let me welcome the first team, Team All-Stars from Tapmi, Manipal, Rutu, Sundara, and Shashank. Come on, guys. These mics are working. You can take this one. If you want a mic. No, this is working.
Just do a quick sound and mic test.
Hello. It's not on. Hello. Hello. It's not on.
What's on?
There's a mic.
Okay.
Hello. Check.
Hello. Hello everyone, we're Team All-Stars and we'll be starting with our presentation. From its humble Aztec origins, today chocolate has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Based on our research, the Indian chocolate market is growing at a CAGR of 8.8%, while dark chocolate is growing at twice its speed. We believe the reason for this exponential growth of dark chocolate are these 4 purchase drivers. The Indian consumers are becoming health conscious and have evolving palates. They want portion control and are willing to explore new tastes. Based on these purchase drivers, we figured our options to make Boneville the first choice of dark. One way was to grow the brand by using our existing SKUs. But our existing SKUs can limit us from trying something new, something different than our previous campaigns, as it could lead to customer confusion, which is why we wanted to look at using new SKUs to act as enablers of purchase. We wanted to focus on a solution that is able to tap into the consumption triggers of our existing customers and remove barriers of purchase to acquire new customers. Then we met with the people in the industry. Based on a consumer survey, we found that 64% of our respondents were not eating the entire dark chocolate bar in one go. Then, during focus group discussion, we noticed that most people were saying that they eat dark chocolate during stressful times like exams, deadlines, or while commuting to work. Furthermore, we were able to meet with the sales executives of Cadbury, and Nestle, who pointed it out that the BTL material and activity for dark chocolate was very low. Then, while meeting RR Distributors, a distributor for Cadbury in the Udupi region, he told us that unlike Amul, Mondelez provides them with a reverse supply chain option that can be extremely helpful while introducing a new SKU. Based on these discussions, we came up with 3 new SKUs. Dark Bite, a 15-gram dark chocolate piece that is ideal for self-indulgence. These bites can then be bundled in packs of 10 to increase shareability. Furthermore, we also want to introduce gifting boxes that can help us provide multiple flavors and cocoa percent in a single box. These SKUs can be targeted towards working professionals and students that are filtered as connoisseurs, healthy indulgers, thoughtful gifters, and fitness freaks. Then we created a value journey to ensure that these SKUs are successfully tapping the consumption triggers and barriers of purchase. Now coming towards our price point, we want to price Dark Bites at roughly 20 rupees, the pouch packs at 200 rupees, and the gifting line to start from 250 rupees based on the market trends and our premium pricing. Although these SKUs are just our enablers of purchase, I would like to call Shashank to explain our main promotional campaign.
Thank you, Ritu. Let's talk about the crux of our strategy. Stress hai, share kar. Share your stress alongside a piece of Boneville. Dark chocolate can help in mood regulation. A study of over 13,000 people found cocoa to be a natural stimulant in reducing stress. We can promote this proposition by using above-the-line mediums like TV, OTT, print, billboards to showcase our ads. Coming to the BTL strategies, by providing incentives and promotion to the outlets for product display, we could improve product visibility and thereby its purchase. Additionally, we can also provide them with the BTL materials and activities, including striking posters, hoardings, danglers, etc. To talk about the TTL strategy, we can partner with airlines to provide Boneville as an in-flight snack to cater to the premium segment. We can also capitalize on digital marketing through targeted ads on social media. We can also capitalize on we can also sponsor events and work along with the corporate wellness programs. Another promotional activity for us is to partner with QSR chains like Starbucks. Co-branding with Starbucks to feature Boneville flavored beverage helps us leverage their stores. Since Starbucks also focuses on creating positive customer experiences, this partnership can help us create buzz among the audiences. Furthermore, we can utilize social media campaign to work along with influencers to promote Boneville online. We can use aspirational marketing to make our customer feel like they are rewarding themselves whenever they have Boneville. Talking about the trade promotion strategy, we can capitalize on Mondelez B2B app, which is used by Mondelez distribution network to order and manage inventory. We can nudge them for inventory stocking and also manage sales-based incentive. I'd like to call upon my friend Sundra to continue with the further slides.
Thank you, Shashank. Let's dive into how Boneville is set to conquer the dark chocolate space. Through the Cocoa Life program, Mondelez aimed to secure 100% of his cocoa from his own network of farmers. In the competitive landscape, numerous players have joined the dark chocolate space, creating a mix of local and international options. Amul, a key player, introduced a 25 rupee SKU to reach the broader audience. They even have a secret, not so popular SKU of rupees 10. Coming to the distribution strategy, Dark Bites and pouch packs will be available across all offline channels. Gift boxes will be available in modern trend and e-commerce platforms. All the 3 SKUs will be available in all popular Q-commerce platforms as well. Let's talk numbers. We conducted a thorough cost analysis using impact effort matrix. For instance, digital ads. Platform like Hotstar is going to charge 157 rupees per mile for a 15-second ad. We propose a 200 crore viewership over 3 years. That roughly translates to 32 crores. The budget for our entire marketing campaign is roughly 100 crore rupees. Based on the revenue of Mondelez for FY 2022, we estimate the revenue for Boneville as 194 crore rupees. Dark chocolate space is growing at the CAGR of 16%. Assuming that Boneville grew by this rate, we estimate the revenue for Boneville as 226 crores for FY 2023. With our Stress Share Care campaign, we project a substantial revenue of 1125 crores over 3 years. If unsatisfactory growth within first year, we can start our campaigns in self-indulgence as well, tapping into the increased accessibility created by our new SKUs. Our plan is robust, the numbers speaks for themselves. Team Allstars is confident that our strategies will set Boneville as the dark choice in India. Thank you.
So yeah, let's start with the shallow roast. Any questions, guys? Yeah, please go ahead. Can you pass the mic?
So my question is that you mentioned leveraging Starbucks as well to place in our Bonville chocolate. So Starbucks also has their own chocolate brands as well in their stores, right? So what is your plan to make them put Bonville in place of their own brands?
So we don't want our Boneville brands, Boneville bars to be present at Starbucks. We want to collaborate with Starbucks to come up with a beverage that's made with Boneville. For example, Boneville Dark Mocha can be a SKU that we can leverage. We get access to their stores, we get access to the BTL advertising. At the same time, it can be beneficial for both the brands, as co-branding can increase buzz, excitement among consumers.
And for that, we have allocated separate budget for that.
Yeah, any more questions?
Hi. So you mentioned that fitness freaks are one of your target group. So don't you think that the sugar content that is there in dark chocolate is going to demotivate them? And secondly, it will also turn as a negative for the brand because there is going to be consumers who will speak about it. So it will turn into negative promotion as such.
So when we talk about fitness freaks, we don't want them to indulge in Boneville regularly. Every fitness freak will have a cheat day, and on that cheat day, instead of having a complete milk chocolate, they would prefer having a dark chocolate, as it could help them not feel guilty. Furthermore, it can also target to people who have just started their fitness journey. They get bored of eating granola bars, protein bars every other day.
Yeah. It helps in transitioning. Yeah, continue.
And going with a small SKU, it will be also a portion control. Like we are proposing a small SKU. Right?
Any more questions, guys? Yeah, so let's go with the grand roast. So over to you. Yeah.
Hi, great presentation. Thank you, guys. So my question is on brand promise. I think we've heard, I like the thinking around the SKUs, but what does the brand truly stand for? Because of course, we spoke about fitness, but luxury indulgence, and then there is a campaign that talks about stress hai to share kar. So, I mean, how do you equate stress as a, brand benefit from Boneville?
Ma'am, we believe every chocolate brand has a tagline or has a utility. The same way 5 Stars has Do Nothing, Snickers has Hungry Grabber Snickers. Our main value proposition and utility will be stress relief. Because when we talk to our consumers, they said that generally they are eating Boneville during stressful times, during exams. So our main crux remains stress relief, and our smaller SKUs are just our enablers of purchase. They can use it for self-indulgence, they can use it for sharing, they can use it for gifting purpose as well.
To talk about the core of ingredients of what dark chocolate has, as mentioned in the several reports, also cocoa actually helps in mood regulation. This was also proven when we spoke to a couple of nutritionists. When we spoke to them that what you generally prescribe to your clients when they ask for what is that one thing which we can eat guilt-free, they mentioned one of the commodities like dark chocolate. So that's where our thoughts started brewing up.
So. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Just to build on that, the case at hand is Boneville, but we are a large portfolio, and we as a category in chocolate stand for those moments of joy, right? With this campaign of stress hai to khalo, whatever you want to call it, doesn't that somewhere add that negative connotation in your mind and that joyful, blissful, happy moments of joy? How do you see that cannibalizing in the overall portfolio?
We are associating with stress management rather than stress itself. So we are calling our SKUs as mindful moments. So we are associating with the part where the relief part is there. So that's where we are associating the entire thing. Towards some negative thing is happening which is out of our control. We are associating towards a solution for it.
And also, ma'am, we believe stress, anxiety in general is, it's rising, and it's a need to start talking about it. It's a need to educate people, to talk to people, get help, maybe not your friends, but professionals. And dark chocolate, especially Boneville, can be a great way to enable that. And it would
think addressing stress through chocolate is the right approach?
We won't be addressing it. Like dark chocolate will never be a solution for stress relief. But it can act as something.
Tool.
Yeah,
it can act as a tool. So our campaign also says that stress hai share kar. It It doesn't just mean that share your stress through communication. It also means you can share it by sharing the Boneville with them. We actually shown it through a anime to make it more visualizing that you can do this.
Also, ma'am, if we look at our previous Boneville campaigns, we'll see people stressed from work, going to their homes, sitting on a couch, opening a Boneville and relaxing. So relaxing part, that stress relief part, we believe has always been associated with Boneville indirectly.
Okay, so you gave a whole host of things that you'll do to launch the product, right? You'll give POS materials in trade, you'll do online, social media, you'll do Starbucks, everything, right? But life is never like that, no? You'll not get everything. You'll not have money to do everything. If you have to do just 2 things to launch a product, what would they be and why?
So our main target audience is like students and working professionals. And we believe that, I mean, it is very evident also, we are all in digital space. If we want to do just 2 things, we are going to do social media ads and digital ads. And ads in OTT basically. Yes. Those are the 2 things we
definitely, I just want to add one last point. Because most of our purchase also happens through retail, it's really important, as we have mentioned in the slides also, we can look for the retail one and definitely the digital space which he is talking about, because we cannot miss the digital space now, because digital space and physical stores are not 2 separate things. Today they both are together. We cannot leave one and talk about another.
Okay, got it. My second question is on your first 3 years revenue that you've said, right? It's 1100 crores with your first campaign. If it doesn't work, it's 1000 crores almost, right? So what's the belief that you will not work the first time and then come back and still do almost 90% of your plan?
So like we said, our crux strategy remains stress relief and smaller SKUs. These go with both. These work with sharing, as you can use pouch packs to share. At the same time, it can also be used for self-indulgence. The Dark Bites, a smaller SKU, can be used for self-indulgence. So these 2 things remain constant throughout. The sharing part, rewarding part, and self-indulgence part can be changed and help us generate the similar revenue.
And the numbers what we projected, it's like on a conservative side. Like the market is growing at 16%. The highest we have shown is 32%. It's on the conservative side. If the campaign works really well, we are going to grow twice the market size. That's what we are projecting.
Okay, thank you.
Good presentation, all
so
stars.
much,
Couple of questions from my side. Did you meet any Boneville non-consumer?
Yes, sir.
And why is she not consuming? So that's the first question, if you can help me understand. The second is on this whole stress relief. Why is Boneville gonna do that job and not any other chocolate? Like why can't we do it with a Cadbury Dairy Milk? If somebody has stress, it's even better tasting, right? So can you help me understand those 2, because it wasn't very clear.
A customer who is not a Boneville customer is definitely a Mondelez customer. He is consuming any other chocolate other than that. Coming to the second question, numerous studies...
No, my question is, why is she not consuming? What is the barrier to consumption? What does she say?
Yes, sir. So during our focus group, we did have people who said that they don't eat dark chocolate. One of the reason was they don't like the taste. And we believe that the reason a lot of people don't like dark chocolate is because they haven't developed the taste. Dark chocolate is something that you need, just like wine or cheese, you have to develop a taste. And they find it difficult to spend 100 rupees, 50 rupees to buy a bigger bar just to taste it. While a 15 rupees smaller
How are you using that? But what you just said, I don't see any of it in the plans that you just showed. If they don't like the taste of dark chocolate, and that is the reason they are not having it, why haven't you used that insight in any of your plans?
We felt like our plan of introducing a smaller SKU will cover it, because it will it will come in their buying range. Yes. Currently, Boneville is something that is not in the buying range of a lot of people. If they haven't tried it once, the first time they try it, dark chocolate, maybe they won't like it because it's not as tasty or as sweeter as other chocolates.
Yes. And throughout the process of brainstorming, we also had to make sure that we need to make it a first choice. So it's not just, it should be limited to tier 1 cities. It should go beyond tier 2 cities also. And that's where we can make it a first choice. And that's where we can make it more accessible.
Look, you first said people don't like the taste. Then you said it's expensive. And then your proposition has got nothing to do with either of those 2. You're talking about stress here. Which comes to my second question to say, why can't Dairy Milk provide that stress relief? Why does Boneville have to do that?
So there are numerous studies which proves that dark chocolate can reduce the production of cortisol level. There are numerous studies. The recent one is as latest as 2022. And why Cadbury Dairy Milk can't show it is that cocoa content is less. For these studies, for this to work, the cocoa content should be more. That's where all these studies are based on. And this, the proportion what we are making is like we are proposing different states. Like we want to introduce the first one as 50% only, so that people are acquired to the taste. People are not acquired to the taste. So if we introduce with the 50%, people will be acquired to it, and slowly they can move on.
Let there be a transition to it.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Team All Stars.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's welcome Team Ninjas from XLRI Jamshedpur. Athar, Premankur and Anuja.
Hello.
Hello. So our team has grown quite fond of Bonville over the last couple of months. So now let's dive into our plan for making Bonville the first choice of dark in India. Our potential consumers can be classified into three personas: the novice, variety seeker and cocoa connoisseur. We are going ahead with variety seeker as our TG because of two reasons. One, most of the population tends to exhibit variety seeking behavior, and two, variety seeker is open to new products, open to new experiences and tastes, which makes them more likely to try Bonville. Variety seekers can be of two types: non-consumers of dark chocolate altogether and consumers of dark chocolate who don't buy Bonville yet. We spoke to both of these consumers in our consumer immersion and got three insights. Product visibility is important, trials are important, and brand positioning needs to be reimagined. We are positioning Bonville as your daily luxury, a perfectly thought out oxymoron. Let me explain. Non-consumers of dark chocolate tend to believe that
It's too intense and bitter, just not for me.
we solve this by shifting the narrative from intense bitter taste to a luxurious delight. Consumers of dark chocolate tend to believe that
Bonville is too luxurious and almost seems out of reach.
we solve for this by changing the positioning to a welcoming tone where daily denotes accessibility and luxury denotes premiumness and fine taste. We showed the poster of your daily luxury to some consumers and got positive reactions. Another important insight we discovered is that all our campaigns should be focused towards the flavored SKUs because consumers are apprehensive about the intense bitter taste.
Now we know how to position Bonville, but how do we win? So here is our sales and marketing plan. In the first phase, we will have organic and inorganic social media campaigns to drive awareness amongst the consumers. In the second consideration phase, we will have paid visibility assets in general trade, modern trade, as well as quick commerce at the point of purchase. In the trials phase, we will introduce multiple touch points in airport lounges, airline integrations, as well as corporate snacking. Here is just a sample journey of Prem. Now, let us deep dive into each of our interventions.
While going through the social media of Bonville, we saw that Bonville has an immense 80+ followers on Instagram, but the engagement is really poor and the content is very branded. We talked to the consumers and understood that they want fun and shareable content. So here is an example of a Spotify wrapped playlist from the perspective of Bonville. In our consumer immersion, we also gained an interesting insight that there was an intersection between variety-seeking consumers who were quick commerce app users and subscribers to premium OTT platforms. To tackle that, we propose product placement in contemporary OTT shows and then partner with those shows to have banner ads on quick commerce platforms. While going through quick commerce platforms, we realized that while we were there in generic keyword searches as ads, the competitor keywords were actually taken up by Fabel and Galaxy. So we proposed increasing our spends on competitor keywords rather than generic keywords. Moving on. I shop once a month from Reliance Smart nearby, but I only remember seeing Amul dark chocolate there. This was the statement given by Anurag, a participant in our consumer immersion. While talking to them, we realized that a large number of consumers from the SECA category are modern trade buyers. So to tackle that, we have 3 dedicated visibility assets in modern trade. The FSUs will grab your attention as soon as you walk into a modern trade store, and here we'll focus on the new launches and flavored SKUs. Then the end caps will enhance our product presentation on the shelves where the consumer is actually making the buying decisions. Here, the larger SKUs will be kept at the eye level and the smaller SKUs will be kept at the bottom. Finally, capitalizing on the impulse buying behavior, we want to focus on cash tails where we'll have a special focus on smaller SKUs for trials. We also plan to propose small Boneville branded Visi coolers in large general trade stores.
Only 5 out of 6 consumers in our immersion had never even tasted Bonville. Trials are going to be extremely important when we are trying to get the consumer to adopt a product that they don't currently consume. We will drive trials by 1. Partnering with lounges and airlines such as Vistara to have small Bonville SKUs in the meal boxes itself. 2nd, most of our TG is employed in MNCs and corporates. We will partner with these corporates in 2 ways. 1, the free corporate snacks that they have will constitute Bonville as well. 2nd, we will also partner with corporates when they are gifting their employees something. Lastly, we propose premiumizing and rebranding the Dark Selections gift box to reflect the distinct identity of Bonville, and also suggest that the brand should claim Halloween as an occasion for the brand via launching a Halloween themed gift box.
We have come up with a 3-step implementation plan. In the first phase, we focus on the Vistara strategy as well as modern trade visibility assets. In the second phase, we focus on the gifting, Halloween ads, as well as quick commerce activation. And in the third phase, we introduce multiple touchpoints across tier 2 cities and scale up all of our existing capabilities. Based on our interventions, we predict that there will be a revenue uptick for Bonville, a dark chocolate market size will see an increase, and social media engagement will also go up. The result of this would be an increase in the channel contribution of Bonville, especially in the modern trade and quick commerce side. We have summarized our entire intervention strategy as a part of Beacon. Beacon capitalizes upon the existing capabilities of Bonville and while keeping feasibility and implementation usability at its core, it makes Bonville the first choice of dark.
All this is fine, Atharv, but show me the money.
Sure. We have come up with an ROI of 11.5x over the 3 years. The maximum ROI will be seen for modern trade assets and visi-coolers in the short run. However, the ROI as well as the future potential for corporate gifting and Vistara and airport integration will be maximum in the future. For a program cost of 214 crores, we get a benefit of 2460 crores over 3 years, which is almost 5 times the benefit which would have been the baseline figure. Based on our interventions, we expect the customer size to increase as well as the frequency of consumption to increase. To bring that into perspective, we have formulated a scenario analysis of these positions.
Thanks, Abhay.
Thank you.
Let's start the shallow roast, please. Any questions from the audiences? Contestants? Yes.
You talked about getting space in the modern trade places, right? How are you going to ensure that you're going to get it? And like, if you're going to start this, other brands are going to come up with the same proposition, right?
Right, so we already have existing relationships with chains like, let's say, Reliance Smart or Spencer's or More or Modern Bazaar, Lulu's, etc. So we leverage those relationships, right? We already are having our products placed there, and it's a matter of time and relationship where we strike deals with those modern trade retail stores for spaces in the seasons that we want to target.
And how are you going to allocate for the entire Mondelez portfolio? It's just for the Bonville?
Right. So there will be specific stores which will have probably, let's say, a silk end cap, or specific stores which will have a Bonville end cap. Maybe hypermarkets can have floor stack units of both these products because hypermarkets are actually that big. So we'll have to rationalize and select these stores basis on which product we want where.
So, hi team. At the initial slide, you said that Boneville has a very bitter taste and that's a barrier to entry. So in your plan, how are you solving that? And even if you're solving that, there's a certain entry level for Boneville. So even with that, price point is a huge barrier. So how are you solving that?
Right. So taste is a huge barrier. That's why we are suggesting that in all the sales and marketing interventions, the focus will be on the flavored SKUs, especially the rum and raisin one, because the consumers reported that this was the least bitter SKU that they thought in the Bonville range. So we will lead with this SKU as our hero to gently ease consumers into the world of Bonville dark chocolates.
Plus, we are also focusing on the daily luxury positioning, right? We are trying to reposition the brand from being truly intense to being a daily luxury. So daily here implies accessibility and luxury implies fine taste. It's an oxymoron we have thought of.
So team, great presentation, but I had a question regarding the Halloween campaign. So Halloween is not essentially an Indian festival and not many people actually celebrate it. So what is, like, apart from it resonating with Bonville being dark, what other rationale do you have behind promoting it as a Halloween package per se? As in it's a daily luxury you're mentioning and then again Halloween specific packaging. I mean, how did that thought process happen?
So that's a future-oriented outlook, especially in metros and tier 1s and SECA segment, which is the one we are proposing to target. Halloween is gradually becoming bigger and bigger. So we are suggesting that Bonn will associate itself with this occasion, which will reap rewards in the future. For example, how Silk has associated itself with Valentine's Day, something like that.
So I think follow-up question. You said you want to position it as a daily luxury brand. So if you're positioning it as a daily luxury brand at a price point of say 85 to 90, can I finish it? Yeah. So don't you think that not many people would buy it and your target market would be niche?
Right. So at a price per gram of 1.6 rupees, it is still one of our SKUs is actually still PPG is actually still lower than Galaxy and 1.8 times higher than Amul's PPG. If we are actually saying that it is a luxury product, there needs to be some amount of price gap between the smaller competitor or the competitor which is priced lower than us, right?
And to add on to that, Bonville is a luxurious product. There is no denying that. So we are sort of doing our positioning in a way that we're positioning ourselves above Amul, but lesser than, let's say, a Lindt, for example. So we are not suggesting to change the price or become a mass market brand just in order to become the first choice of dark. We are a premium brand, but we are trying to be more and more appealing to consumers so that they want us despite at a higher price point.
And just adding to it at the end, competing on price with, let's say, the smaller competitor like Amul, which from which we have priced at 1.8 times the price per gram, right? So there is no end to price wars. We have to probably redefine our positioning and justify the pricing that we have.
Yep. Over to the grand jury, please.
Good presentation, Team Ninjas. My question was around the, what you just mentioned around you'll focus on rum and raisin. How big is rum and raisin to total Boneville? So what is the contribution of rum and raisin, and is it a good strategy to not focus on core Boneville but focus more on flavors? What kind of a growth will you get if you don't focus on core Boneville? And if bitterness is an issue, do you propose that one should actually reduce that bitterness? Is that an option at all?
Are you taking it up? So, sir, we are actually saying that through rum and raisin or through other flavored SKUs, we are actually enabling trials. So once the consumer, for let's say for example, we have FSUs which are only for flavored SKUs in a modern trade store. We are saying that, you know, this flavor you have heard of in other brands, probably in a Temptation you have heard of rum and raisin. This is not that different, you know. Come, let's try. And once you try Boneville, then you experience what the taste is like. If you have not experienced what the taste is like, you have an inhibition in your mind which is just a preconceived notion. So we want to cross that barrier, taking help of these flavored SKUs, and once the customer actually tries the flavored SKUs, probably they will also come up and take our 50% dark or 70% dark SKUs.
Okay. If you imagine that you'll replace Boneville with Silk and you're targeting non-Silk consumer, Do you think your current plan will work exactly the same?
I really don't think so, sir. It's a different product. We have to do an in-depth study on that product line. We have to probably understand the consumers of that product better. Currently, in the scope of our project, we have particularly tried to restrict ourselves in the dark chocolate space and try to understand why someone is consuming it and why someone is not consuming it. For a silk, probably we will have to make some tweaks, and we can't say that a copy paste will work for a silk as well.
And to add on to what he said, I think the key difference is silk is a milk chocolate, which most of the consumers feel very familiar with. For a dark chocolate, the first question we got from when we interviewed the non-consumers was that it's probably too bitter, or I've just never had it because I don't feel like having something bitter. Chocolates are supposed to be sweet. So I think that perception is the biggest barrier for something like Bonville, which we are trying to fix.
Got it. And you've mentioned a lot of ROIs against all your POB materials that you put in everywhere. Explain that a little to me in terms of how you arrived at it.
Okay, so basically we came across an experiment-based research from King's College London. So what they had done is that in their first phase, they had surveyed a shop with no end caps, no cachets, etc., and calculated the sales for the Nestle Kit Kat, but the truffle wala category. So on the basis of that, after that they introduced end caps, FACUs and other modern trade visibility assets, and based on that they saw an increase in the revenue.
This was a research based out of for consumers in London.
Yeah, so it was based on a research out of London.
You think that can be applied? Modern trade behaves similar in London and in India?
Yeah, so basically the research was around an area called Brisbane, which is quite similar on the basis of the per capita income with any tier 1 city in India. And according to the research, if we take an example of a vesicular for 1 year, their ROI was almost 6, or almost around 6, but we have actually considered on the conservative side, since the customer is new to this product, and hence we have decreased the ROI by quite a substantial amount, and that is what we have put it on the slide.
Okay.
Thanks, Ninjas. So maybe I got stuck in the initial parts, right? So you mentioned that you're targeting the variety seeker, right? And then you also went on to say that everyday luxury is what you'd like to bring into the table. That's your big idea. In that sense, it seemed like a little bit of an oxymoron to the oxymoron, right? I mean, if you're seeking variety, then how are you suggesting the same brand every day? And then maybe also leading that same thought to say, then how are you making Bonville relevant every day? What is the right to win that Bonville has day after day? I mean, anyways, I think it's a very leaky brand, right? Leaky bucket, right? The whole branding, brand loyalty bit. How are you making sure he's sticking on to this brand every day? Especially the variety seeker.
Sure. So there were two particular reasons why we actually went with the variety seeker group, right? First was that they were ready for newer experiences. They were ready to try out new products. Second was from the people that we surveyed, and in general as well, very majority large number of consumers actually showed variety seeking behavior. And then some of these variety seekers actually go on to turn into cocoa connoisseurs. Right now, from what we understood, Bonville is actually targeting cocoa connoisseurs. We are saying that you target the variety seekers, some of them will try your product, some will probably drop off after a few consumptions, and then some of them who will actually go on to become cocoa connoisseurs, you will capture them at an early stage of variety seeking.
So variety seekers will stop being variety seekers after they catch on to Bonville?
After a substantial amount of time, yes. I mean, we are assuming that some percentage of them will. Because cocoa connoisseurs have to be variety seekers at some stage of their life, right?
So I'm just curious, across this journey, I mean, what is the Bonville right to win versus, let's say, an Amul? I mean, you mentioned maybe not silk, it's a milk chocolate, but you're comparing like to like. Which part of the strategy or plan that you're bringing to the table is what Amul can just not do?
So the luxurious positioning that we are showing along with the everyday consumption, right? That is something that Amul is not doing. We are positioned much better. We are at a higher price premium as well. Our taste is also better, and our perception after talking to the consumers is already developed. So we are already just trying to strengthen our existing capabilities. We are not trying to do something very radically different. We are just trying to do something which is scalable and feasible with whatever we are already doing.
And And to add on to that, so what we as Bonville are doing that Amul cannot simply do is Amul has a perception of being a mass brand. So let's say if someone wants to pamper themselves after a long day, or someone wants to feel transported in a get a luxurious feel, that is something that Bonville will give them, not because of the product in itself, but because of the positioning and the branding that we've done around it.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Question, building on to what Shonali mentioned, the problem statement is making dark big. So if you're going to just target the variety seekers, how much bigness are you going to get out of it? And given that India is a very price conscious, very 60%, 70% of the population is still not a variety seeker. So what are your plans when you're thinking just to target an audience of being variety seekers?
So with respect to chocolate specifically, we did a survey of 104 people, and from that we tried to profile them. We tried to profile them into novice, variety seeker and cocoa connoisseur, and according to that, we found out that most of them actually 56% fit the variety seeker profile, which is why the TAM by proxy we are assuming
And where were these people and where did you survey them?
So these were
So our analysis and the survey was basically SCCA people, so basically metro cities and tier 1. And so hence they are already developed. But considering the current trend in tier 2 cities, the trend is also going towards being a variety seeker in tier 2 cities, which is why we have also suggested after the 3-year implementation of our plan that we introduce multiple touch points across tier 2 cities and also start to capitalize upon the variety seekers that are developing in those areas in their nascent stage.
I'm still not clear, but others?
Yeah, just a clarification question. You put your 3-year program and 3-year revenue at 2460 crores. That's year 3 revenue or all 3 years put together?
all 3 years added.
So what's your year 3 revenue you're looking at?
Can we please go back to the...
So basically the year 3 revenue is around 1360 crores.
1360 crores. Did you manage to find out how many brands in the country would have reached more than 1,000 crores in 3 years?
So basically, considering the current scenario, the revenue for Bonville will be around 490 crores for all the 3 years. And if you just consider Y1 based on the projections of 2022, we will get a revenue of around 280 crores, which is quite lesser than the 1,000 projection which we have said. But since our entire objective is to increase the customer base and the frequency of consumption, I think that it is quite justifiable that we will see an exponential revenue increase over the years, and I think 1,000 is quite an achievable target in year 3.
Okay.
All right, thank you, team. Thank you, Team Ninja. Welcoming Team Sky from IIM Shillong. We have Kunal, Shivam and Yashita from IIM Shillong, Team Sky.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. We are Team Sky from IIM Shillong, and this is our solution to the case. We want to establish Cadbury Bonville as a rich, healthier choice for a luxurious and authentic experience. By focusing on Cadbury Bonville's USPs, which is its high quality of cocoa and therefore enhanced antioxidants, we want to drive consumer consciousness about its mood enhancement and stress releasing properties. We've gathered several insights from surveys, consumer immersion programs, and focus group discussions, which has helped us detail and validate our solution. For example, in our survey, 62% of respondents who loved coffee also like to consume dark chocolates, and therefore we've formed a separate consumer target group of gourmet coffee lovers. We've also identified a few gaps in the Indian dark chocolate market, the most prominent one being that no brand is trying to create awareness about the benefits of dark chocolates. And also, as you can see in the graph here, we want to reinforce the sweet spot that Bonville has taken in the dark chocolate market of being a luxurious and smartly priced dark chocolate.
So we have come up with 5 target groups, and our first target group is a wellness-minded people, an example for which is Shilpa Shetty, looking for a health-conscious lifestyle and superfoods with antioxidant properties. So here Bonville's functional benefits cater to the group. Our second target group is our students and working women, an example for which is Jannat Zubair, a social media influencer looking for stress relief, relaxation, and an escape from menstrual cramps. So here Bonville becomes the perfect companion, providing that stress relief. Then our third target group is our dessert and baking enthusiasts, an example for which is Shivesh Bhatia, a self-taught baker looking for exploration and experimentation. And here Bonville becomes the perfect ingredient for health-conscious indulgence. Now our fourth target group is our gourmet coffee lovers, an example for which is Kareena Kapoor, who is always looking for culinary exploration and enhanced coffee pairing. So they don't just desire a luxurious experience, they look for treats with high cocoa content. So here Bonville provides an experiential journey with a sense of luxury. And our last target group is our gift shoppers looking for a touch of luxury and elegance. So here Bonville, with its emotional and symbolic benefits, becomes the perfect gift for each occasion. Now coming to Bonville's next stop, with the surge in lifestyle conscious consumers, we have come up with 6 new products in the portfolio. And further, in the existing chocolate category, we have come up with 3 new variants. That is 60 gram, 55% dark, and 90% dark. And in the distribution channels, we have included retail distribution like supermarkets, D2C platforms like Swiggy Instamart, specialty stores, vending machines, events and pop-up stores, and strategic alliances with cafes and coffee shops.
Okay, so over here we have the action plan which has been divided into 4 phases. In the first phase, we plan to spread Bonville's wellness wave with the help of wellness-centric messaging, strategic teasers, and email sneak peeks in order to build curiosity around our new products. As we move on to the next phase where our products will be launched, we plan to create buzz and awareness around these products with the help of influencer collaborations, in-store promotions, and early bird discounts. Moving on to the next leg of market penetration, we plan on doing so by building on our B2B collaborations and bringing on someone like Deepika Padukone as the brand ambassador. Lastly, as we look to sustain our growth, we'll be doing this with the help of heavy advertising and providing consumers with personalized offers based on past purchases. Okay. So over here we have the marketing plan. This marketing plan has been crafted keeping all the consumer segments in mind across various touch points of consumer journey. In the first phase, which is awareness, we plan on creating awareness with the help of advertisements on TV, in cinema, platforms like Spotify and billboards, of course. We also plan on collaborating with coffee chains and posting consumer testimonials on our socials in order to enhance trust and credibility. Moving on to the consideration phase, over here we plan to provide dessert and baking enthusiasts with creative recipes, including Bonville, in order to create interest. As we move on to the next revenue generating phase, yeah, you guys did right, which is purchase. We plan on inducing desire into action by providing consumer with clearly mentioned discounts that are there on the products. We also plan on providing them with pop-up notifications like your snack for the day is here. Moving on to the last phase, which is consumption, our major focus over here will be improving customer satisfaction, which we'll be doing via focusing on consumer feedback.
So the main marketing campaign that we have formulated is named Indulge in Serenity, and it can be visualized something like this.
Lily's is rushing through her daily routine. But something is missing. The joy seems to have faded from Lily's routine. Sometimes, all it takes is a moment to pause and indulge. Bourneville, a moment of indulgence that transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. Indulge in serenity with Bourneville.
Some other campaigns that we've come up with is Gift Elegance, Gift Bonville, and Pure Indulgence, No Compromise. Find Your Light with Cadbury Bonville. This is a social media campaign that we formulated where people will be able to post stories focusing on moments when they were fighting hard times. We believe that B2B collaborations is a vital element of our strategy, especially after phase 2, and therefore we will focus on partnering with coffee chains, hotels and resorts, cinema, OTT platforms, and airlines. In a marketing budget of INR 100 crores, we will be prioritizing high impact marketing efforts like offline advertisement and high impact to effort channels like digital marketing and collaborations with influencers and businesses. Further, assuming a CAGR of 16% in the dark chocolate category of India, we will be able to achieve a market share of 60% in the optimistic scenario, 45% in the realistic scenario, and 30% in the pessimistic scenario, with an ROI of 13.4, 10.5, and 8.6 respectively. Thank you. We are open for questions.
Thank you, guys. Let's start the shallow roast.
Hi, so my question is, in the starting you mentioned 5 target groups, which seem to be a little bit different from each other. Each group was unique. So my question is, when you are targeting 5 different groups, are you really targeting anyone? Like, what will your brand stand for if you're targeting 5 different segments?
Okay, we believe that this can come up. We have tried to cover our marketing channels across various platforms. And if you would have read the problem statement, you would know that the company is trying to expand dark chocolate market in India. In order to do so, we need to expand our consumer base. We can't keep on targeting the same consumers over and over again. Hence, we have tried to keep various consumers. And in order to target all of those consumers, we have tried to come up with several marketing channels so that if one person is available via one channel, we can target the other person which is available via other channels. If we can find any midpoints between the two, that is obviously going to help the company.
Hi team. In the initial slides, you were mentioning that it's a healthier choice. We are going to propose as a healthier choice. How are we going to make sure that this is not going to cannibalize dairy milk? Thank you.
Right. So, as we all know that dark chocolates contain a number of ingredients which act as antioxidant properties, like flavonols and polyphenols. So, as we all know that cocoa content in dark chocolates is much higher than what we have in like normal chocolates, and therefore they will not be able. The target group that we have formulated is totally different from what we have for the normal chocolates. So.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, the properties that he mentioned, they help in bursting the oxidative stress that we feel on a day-to-day basis, and they also help in improving blood flow to the brain, which helps in mood regulation. So that is how we believe we'll target that.
I asked, my question was, how we are going to make sure this is not going to cannibalize dairy milk if you are going to promote it as a healthier choice?
Right. So in the problem statement itself, it was mentioned that only 2% of households in India eat dark chocolates right now, as compared to other countries where 20% is already there. So in the somewhere down the line, it is going to cannibalize some part of it because we want to increase the dark chocolate market a lot. So that will be there, but majorly the target groups that we have formed will be different from that of normal chocolates.
And what we believe is that according to our surveys that we have conducted, primary and secondary research, it's not necessary that somebody who consumes a milk chocolate does not want to consume a dark chocolate. There will be consumers who want to consume both. There will be consumers who want to consume one. So hence we are targeting both.
And the moments that both chocolates are used according to our proposition will be different as well. We are especially proposing the solution for stressful moments and the moments when you need mood regulation, right? So.
Over to the jury.
Okay, I can go first. So, firstly, I think just a comment. Your indulgent serenity, find your light sounds like more like a yoga retreat than wanting to have a chocolate, right? But I didn't see any revenue projections from your end. What's the revenue you guys are targeting?
So the revenues has been included in the ROI itself in the slides. So if we've taken a marketing budget of 100 crores, in the realistic scenario, 10.5 ROI means we'll be able to achieve around 1,050 crores in a span of 3 years.
Okay, how have you arrived at that?
As I said, in the optimistic scenario, we assume that the CAGR of the dark chocolate category in India will be 16%. As of now, the dark chocolate market is around 700 crores in India, 700 crores INR. And if you assume 16% CAGR and increase the market share of year-on-year market share of Bonville as 20%, then we will be able to achieve this revenue.
Yeah, that's in Excel, that's right. But why do you feel so confident that you'll be able to gain market share year on year? You think competitors won't do anything?
Okay, so a couple of reasons why we believe that will happen. One is the expanded product portfolio. Second being our increased B2B collaborations. Third being our increasing our communication gap, which we found as part of our survey. Majorly consumers mentioned that they don't see a lot of advertisements via Bonville. So that is where we have tried to cover majority of the marketing channels where we can find our consumers. Hence, a culmination of all three is what we believe will lead to this.
Okay.
When you said the revenue growth is coming from portfolio, right? And that's also curious because your portfolio, the horizontal line didn't seem to stop. So from crunch to bar, biscuits, syrup, laddus, dark gift box, basically bubblegum and maybe some ice cream regya, but pretty much everything else was there. But you also realize that that's also different categories. So, when you're saying share, then you're playing in a larger universe. But just a curiosity in terms of your portfolio strategy, how you're straddling across so many new.
So we've come up with this portfolio to expand because of some. It's like we want to experiment some flavors and new products because in the action phase itself, we've mentioned in the sustainable growth phase 4 that there will be some modification of the product portfolio. So according to the products that are being liked by the consumers, we can modify in this stage. So.
Also, to add on to that, we have come up with these different products because something similar our competitors are also doing. If you talk about Hershey's, then they are coming with exotic dark, they are coming with Hershey Kisses, so we want to do that. And further, if you want to expand the dark chocolate market, so a person might not want to try a 30-gram piece at the initially. So we want to give that dark laddus as seen here because if it comes in a smaller portion, then the person might want to try it and it might change the perception that dark means better and would want to go with a bigger piece.
Another reason why we believe we did this is smaller SKUs are there in the market. Amul has launched, other companies have also launched, but the perception of dark meaning bitter has always been there. So we wanted to touch consumers with various other products where their perception might change. So.
Yep, thank you.
Well presented, Team Sky. Couple of questions. The first is on this find your light with Cadbury Bonville and finding a reason to smile more often despite the problems in life. So how does Bonville uniquely address this issue? Which TG is it targeting? How will it drive growth? How much money have you put on this campaign? So can you help understand? And the second question is like you presented a lot of stuff here. What do you think is the weakest of all the things that you have presented from a plan standpoint?
All right. So in order to answer your first question, the campaign is around whenever our back is against the wall, most of us need to fight through because we don't have an exit option. So the campaign is around people sharing their stories where they were able to find the light despite being at the darkest moment. So it's a platform, it's a social media engagement way so that people can share their stories in association with Bonville in order to promote positivity, because people had this perception that dark means a bit negative. So we wanted to promote positivity with it. That is why we came up with this campaign.
Also adding on to that, we are targeting a second target group with this, that is students and working women, because at the time of menstrual cramps, usually we go for Meftal spas. But if I share a story by myself, I don't like to take medicine, so I go for chocolate. And usually I used to eat milk chocolate, but when I tried the dark chocolate, I felt something better. And this competition, of course, made us realize that how beneficial is this. So this is one thing that, helps us find my light with Bonville, because my back is against the wall. I cannot do anything in the menstrual cramps.
And for your next question, which is the weakest areas of all that we have come up with, I think the infrastructure capabilities that you can see on this slide is something that we haven't gone very detailed into, because we believe the solution which we have presented will be sufficient with the existing infrastructures.
Do you think your strategy could have been a little bit more concentrated and focused?
Yeah, of course, we believe that we could go with lesser number of SKUs. Again, as we mentioned, we wanted to bring out the trial factor more. Secondly, in order to raise awareness, we believe that if we have more number of SKUs, there is a higher chance that we'll reach more number of consumers. Yeah, and if you see the number of TGs that we have, 5. So that is why we came up with this product portfolio in order to tap each one of them.
So is the idea first-time consumption or is the idea consistent?
The idea is consistent, is what really.
Okay, adding on to that, so since we have come up with 5 TGs, so first we thought of it that it could be our just segments and we could target some of them. But we validated all our research in primary research, secondary research, as well as our consumer emotion as well. And we got to know that yes, we have to target all our TGs because firstly, it will become a consistent idea, even if it starts a TG with tasting it only.
Can I also add on to it? Yeah, so as you mentioned that it does not come through, we believe that the taste that Mondelez provides through most of its product is what leads from single consumption to regular consumption, and that is what we believe will happen with the same.
Yeah, that was the perception. Like, if I talk about myself and my teammates as well, we had a lot of Bonville during this case competition, and we also had this perception of Bonville being better. But when we actually started eating Bonville, we got a perception that actual normal chocolates are a bit more sweet. Like we were not able to have the normal chocolates, and Bonville is something that we consume usually now.
And India having diverse palates, this palate suits to a lot of people. It's just the first 2-3 bars that you need to consume. You'll get used to it, and then you really want it.
Yes. Okay, thank. All right, now we'll have to move on to the next team. Thank you, Team Sky. Clearly, the sky is the limit in terms of the number of SKUs that you proposed. Now, we'll move on to the 4th team, which is Team Crimson Tides from SCM HRD Pune. Dhanush, Apan, and Gaurav.
Hello.
Mic check. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. We are the Crimson Tides from SMHRD Pune, and this is our take on how Mondelez can win in the dark with Bonville. To build our foundation for a solution, we first conducted our primary research. The first question we aimed to answer was, why do people even consume dark chocolate? We found out 4 reasons, and they were health benefits, because of cravings, because of taste, and because it gave them a premium feel. Some other very important insights we gained were 73% of surveyed dark chocolate consumers indicated that they would increase the consumption if it were available in smaller packages. 64% of people indicated that they would buy dark chocolate gift boxes. 67% of respondents who were not dark chocolate consumers said that they will consume dark chocolate at least once if they were available in smaller packages. And finally, 82% of surveyed individuals said that they would consume dark chocolates, that they buy the dark chocolates from Kirana stores and medical shops. We also found the barrier to consumption of dark chocolate to be price point, taste preferences, availability, and the size of the dark chocolates. Moving on to our retailer research, we have surveyed a lot of stores based in 4 cities from Bengaluru, Mysore, Pune, and Kolkata, and we found majorly 3 takeaways. First, we found out that the Bonville was getting overshadowed by the different flavors and varieties of dairy milk provided over there. Second, we observed that Bonville had no biteable or munchies product. And finally, we observed that at the point of sales of many stores, there were many chocolates which were kept out of refrigeration, and Bonville was not there. Finally, we had done a customer profiling based on age and their relationship with chocolate. First, we have the young chocobores who are primary kids and are budding chocolate enthusiasts. Next, we have the flavor explorers who are teenagers and who enjoy social snacking. Third, we have the gourmet connoisseurs who are primarily adults who like sophisticated and indulgent treats. And finally, we have the timeless indulgers who enjoy classic and traditional flavors.
Moving on from the customer profiling, we would now like to come to a big idea, that is the Bonville experience, which is a interconnection of different or distinct concepts, yet they are interrelated. The first one being the Bonville bites. They are small micro-flavored chocolates that can be used for a time-free indulgence and for a convenient purpose. The main retailer research that we carried out, we found out that majority of the stores that we went to, that the main thing that were consumed was people would not buy a 50 rupees chocolate, and they would rather buy a 10 rupees chocolate over the sales. And from the consumers that we got to know, we saw that majority of the consumers would buy dark chocolates if it were available in smaller SKUs. So based on these two research, we come up with the concept of this Bonville Bites. The two advantages or the two value propositions that we would like to bring to Bonville Bites is that it offers a micro indulgence and it provides convenience and affordability at the same time. And the second thing is that India is a cost-based value market and people like to spend money where they see value. So this factor gives us a new horizon to explore new customer segments. Moving on, we have the Bonville cafes. So Bonville cafes are exclusive cafes that are meant for chocolate indulgers, and it provides them an experience to cater to new things in the cafeterias. We would be targeting these in primary locations where we get high footfall, such as shopping malls or tech parks. And the value proposition for the Bonville cafes are that we would also like to include a kids section area wherein they can host their events or their birthdays, which can act as a drawing factor for us. And the third thing that we would like to talk about are the Bonville treasures. They are self-curated boxes or festive giftings, and it can be used for corporate gifting and also for festive and wedding gifting. So the main proposition for the Bonville treasures are that we would be offering personalization as well. We can see to it that we form a bond with the customers when we give a personalization to them. So having a personalization or different varieties of chocolates in that box can indulge those customers to buy these more. And with this, we form the whole Bonville experience, which comprises of the Bonville Bites, the Bonville Cafes, and the Bonville Treasures.
Now coming to succeeding in the market, we have divided our strategy into 3 phases, which is brand proposition, route to market intervention, and driving category captaincy. For the brand proposition, we can position Bonville Bites as the moment of indulgence on the go. Bonville Cafes can be marketed as a place to connect with friends and family, and Bonville Treasures can be the go-to choice for festive, wedding, and corporate gifting. Coming to route to market intervention, we can have retail partnerships to make sure that Bonville Bites are available at certain places in points of sale, sampling drives to ensure that we have enough product trials and we have built the awareness of the brand, and community engagements to ensure footfalls in Bonville Cafes with hosting events such as workshops or artist showcases. Coming to driving category captaincy, we propose health and wellness campaigns to show the benefits of dark chocolate, cafe exclusive product launches so that there is something unique about the cafes and people are coming to the cafes to try out new products. And then we have collaboration with luxury brands and other gifting brands such as Ferns and Petals or Archies, wherein we can actually create a co-branded gift set or for wedding gifting or corporate gifting or festive gifting. A good plan is nothing without proper implementation. So in our 3-year implementation strategy, we have segmented the timeline into quarterly phases. In the initial quarter, our focus will be on conducting thorough market research for Bonville Bites, cafes, and treasures. Following this, we'll start the production of Bonville Bites and cafes, and we'll also commence the construction of Bonville cafes. Following this, we'll be beginning the expansion of Bites through various products, even including a sugar-free product in the product line. And at the end of year 2, we plan to expand the Bonville cafes from a company operated to 70 franchisee operated stores. And also by the end of the year 3, we plan to expand Bonville cafes into 150 franchisee operated and 20 company operated, and also look at introducing new varieties in Bonville Bites. Coming to the financial parts, we have divided the resource requirements into 4 categories: retail channel partnerships, marketing partnerships, infrastructure requirements, and human resource requirements, which would lead a total cost of fixed cost of 9.3 crores and a total recurring cost of 37.8 crores. Coming to the revenue part, we are expecting a revenue of 1,113 crores from Bonville Bites over a period of 3 years. Total revenue of 190.8 crores from Bonville Treasures over a period of 3 years.
Thank you, team. We'll move on to this shallow roast.
So you mentioned that consumers don't want to buy a 50 rupee chocolate, which is why you're introducing a smaller SKU called Bonville Bites. So your second idea, which is about Bonville Cafes. my question is, consumers who are not able to afford or think 50 rupees chocolate is too expensive, why will they come to a Bonville cafe, and how will this help you attract consumers?
The point we were trying to make with the pricing strategy is that if me or you, we go to a medical store or a kirana store, if we bill for 50 rupees, we wouldn't think of buying another 50 rupees, because that is something psychological, that I'm buying 50 rupees products and I would have to buy another 50 rupees this thing. That would create a sense of guilt. So instead of that, we would create a 10 rupees product. Now, for example, if you see Munch or KitKat or any other product, they are selling more because it is available in the point of sales, and when he's paying the bill of 50 rupees, for example, he'll have the choice of buying the 10 rupees because it doesn't feel much for him compared to the initial bill size. So that is why we have mentioned that pricing strategy, that when it's 40 to 50, he'll be okay with 10.
Hi team, so my question is again related to your Bonville Cafes idea.
Yeah.
So I want to understand, does it really make sense to have an entire cafe set up for a niche category like dark chocolate? And would you sell other products as well, or would it be limited to the dark chocolate category itself? And my second part of the question is, you said that it would have a kids section, but kids could have their birthday celebrations.
Yeah.
Do you really think kids would actually like to celebrate birthdays in a dark chocolate kind of a setup, which is probably a more adult kind of a category which adults consume?
Yeah, sure. Coming to your second question first, kids absolutely love chocolate. So if you are talking
Yeah,
about,
but they like chocolates, right?
If you are talking about, say for example, McDonald's, kids don't eat burgers much initially, but they do have a kids section wherein they celebrate birthdays. That is what we are trying to implement here as well. Coming to your first question, yes, it's a Bonville exclusive cafe. It's a dark chocolate exclusive cafe wherein we'll have dark chocolate themed products like dark chocolate cookies or dark chocolate lattes, mochas, all such things. So wherein we'll be whipping out an entire menu out of dark chocolate.
So why not collaborate with an existing cafe chain and have your products there rather than investing such a large amount?
Yeah, it would make sense to collaborate with Starbucks or say Cafe Coffee Day, but that would also mean that their products with our products introducing their products would also be sidelined a bit. If that's the case, and after it might work out for first 2 years or 3 years, but when their products are sidelined, we'll obviously have to lose out on the partnership and we'll have to start from the scratch.
Adding on to that, it would also provide us with exclusivity. If we open our own cafes, it shows.
Okay, we will move on to the grand roast now.
Okay, so I see that you've introduced a completely new channel of retail, right? Carrying on from the question that's happening. Why do you think Mondelez will succeed in retail? Opening up retail stores of Bonville.
So first, it's exclusive, it's not tapped in, and the market size is huge. For example, if I'm talking about the market size of cafes and bars in India, it's around $662 million. So the market size is very huge and the opportunity size is very huge. So that is where
today, if I'm Tata Steel, I see a huge opportunity in dark chocolate. So I'll say, okay, this dark chocolate is an opportunity. So even though I'm Tata Steel, it's an opportunity for me to look at. Let me go and implement that. Is that how strategies get made?
No, sir. For Tata Steel, it would be a complete diversion, but for Bonville or Mondelez, it would be something which is formed out of its own product line. For example, we have Bonville, which is basically dark chocolate, and we are the connoisseur of dark chocolate, Mondelez. So forming a dark chocolate cafe by Mondelez would make much more sense.
Is that a competitive advantage for Mondelez?
Competitors can implement it for sure, but with continuous innovation of the menus and with continuous marketing and sales and marketing strategies, it is definitely a first mover advantage for Bonville and Mondelez.
Okay, now tell me, you've completely missed out on e-commerce, quick commerce, and you consciously look like you've kind of kept it out. What's the rationale?
Not at all, sir. If you're talking about Bonville Bites, so if I have to order a 10 rupees chocolate, it would cost me 15 rupees for delivery. So why would I want to spend 15 rupees on delivery for a 10 rupee chocolate? Whereas if you are talking about Bonville Treasures, we also have a plan of wherein you can, we also mentioned about personalization of the product, wherein you can add your own chocolates. So if you are, for example, like the Domino's app, as you can select your own toppings based on the price, we can have the Bonville Treasures wherein you select your own chocolates, and depending on the price, the final price of the product will be kept. And this can be done only with the quick commerce. So quick commerce is not out of the tally at all. Quick commerce is very much needed for the integration and sale of Bonville Treasures.
I didn't see that in the presentation.
Yes, sir, sure.
Last one, there is a certain product that we have currently. So you're saying, leave that, launch new, completely new Bites and Treasures. What you're doing right now is not going to help you reach 1,000 crores. Only if you change the format into a smaller format at a price point of 10 rupees or 1,500 rupees for treasures, it looks like that's the way it is. Only then you can kind of win it.
No, sir. We think that Bonville Bites will be an entry level. For example, if more people try it at 10 rupees, more people would be willing to try it at 85 rupees or 90 rupees for in terms of a family pack or bigger pack. So the way we are seeing Bonville Bites, it's an entry level strategy which will increase the impulsive buying and which will increase the volume sales, but it will also help the bigger size Bonville products as well.
Okay, one last question. You said 10 rupees at 16 grams. How did you arrive at 16 grams?
Actually, we benchmarked it against Amul, which has it at the same quantity, which is at 25 rupees at 40 grams. So we benchmarked it accordingly to our price point from that.
Okay.
I see a few dichotomies in what you're proposing. You're taking a premium chocolate which is under-penetrated to a 10 rupee SKU and then looking at treasure lounges for it. Isn't there some conflict? I mean, it's an under-penetrated category.
Yes.
It's a premium chocolate,
Yes.
consumed by a certain sector of the Indian consumer. You're bringing it to a non-premium category by making it 10 rupees. Then you're also saying that it's yet not penetrated, but let's Mondelez go and invest into infrastructure and retail setup. So what's the thought?
Coming to Bonville Bites, it's surely a premium product because if we see how Bonville came up with the first ad, have you earned it? From there, it added at the price point of 80 to 90 rupees. Now it has come to a price point of 35 rupees. So we believe that Bonville and Mondelez is trying to cater to the larger market, being a premium product. So it is surely a premium product, but premium product does not really necessitate it to have a premium pricing. It can be premium in form of texture or the quality of the chocolate. And coming to Bonville Treasures, the questions you asked, it's an under-penetrated market for sure. And we would like to keep it as a premium offering because that's one of our USPs. And we would also like it to be a sale point for Bonville Treasures and Bonville Bikes as well. So coming to the question of whether premiumity will be affected, it will not be affected because premium, what we are aiming is in quality and not in pricing.
Ma'am, to add to his point, as we had said that Bonville Treasures we're trying to also incorporate into the wedding scenario. So we will not really give something which is worth 250 rupees to somebody at his wedding. So that's why we have also included the price point of 1499.99, and at the entry point we have kept it at 499.
Coming to the wedding scenarios, we usually observe that people either gift or they give envelopes of money or bouquets. So instead of giving bouquets or envelopes of money, they can instead gift them a Bonville dark chocolate gift box, which is at the same price point, which will come of much more use for the bride and groom, of course.
Just on the building on the question on portfolio, if you look at how you have sized the Bonville revenue at year 3, it's basically bites plus treasures.
Yes.
The bites revenue plus the treasure is a gifted SKU, correct? So I wasn't very clear when you said it's an entry level strategy and so on. It seems like you're only proposing to have a 10 rupee and then you have a gift pack. Is that correct from a portfolio standpoint?
As of now, a 10 rupee will be there, but when we introduce a sugar free, we can price it at 15 or 20 rupees as and when we move it.
And I'm trying to understand what makes you think that we don't need a 40 rupee, 50 rupee, 100 rupee, those kind of packs. How does this category behave? And how does dark behave in some of the other markets? So just curious to understand this portfolio of 10 only and then the gift pack. So that was the first question. And the second is just around your trade strategy on what is the number of stores that you want to get to and how will you do that?
So if we see now Mondelez has, for a Cadbury Dairy Milk, it has reached around 2.5 million stores. So if you are even thinking about tier 1 and tier 2 penetration only, even if we take about 10 to 20% of that, we'll be reaching out to around 5 lakh stores initially. So that is what our initial reach will be.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Team Crimson Tides. Now we'll move on to the final team for this evening, the Strat Masters from IIM Bangalore, welcoming Arka, Suqueen and Akshita. One of their team members is not present with us due to placement reasons. I am B. B for Bonville.
Can we start? So, good evening, everyone. We are Team Strat Masters.
So let's take you to 2027. We have Shreya, an IT analyst, going with her colleagues for a presentation. And she stops by to have a healthy snack from IIM Bangalore, presenting before you our journey for making Bonville the first dark chocolate choice.
So back in October 2023, when we tried to do some consumer research, we found out that taste is something that matters a lot while making any choice, any consumption choice. After that comes value for money and packaging. Brand value is something which consumers rated the least when it comes to a dark chocolate choice. So there is clearly an opportunity for Bonville to becoming the first dark chocolate choice. And also there is a 87% people responding to having dark chocolate. So we think there is a potential market out there that can be captured by Bonville. Further, to understand more, we conducted FGIs, wherein people said that Bonville needs to highlight its health benefits through more campaigns, so that users tend to, again, there is a affirmation that it is actually healthy, and then they shift. Also, promotional offers that are most offers need to be concrete. In addition to that, there was also an insight that parents want their kids to move to dark chocolate consumption as opposed to milk chocolate because of the high sugar content that it has, but kids usually don't like it. We can further solve for this by introducing taste variants. Most of these can be localized, like spices, for example, Ooty chocolates and all, which consumers like in general. So through these insights, what we see is the key barriers for dark chocolate consumption in general is unfamiliarity with the bitter taste, the price sensitivity in some of the consumers, and also some of the skepticism related to dark chocolate's benefits in general. So we try to cater to all of these through our solution. Based on all of these insights, we identify 5 consumer categories that we want to target. All of this because we want to cater to a larger mass of audience, and then each of these we have further identified the opportunities and triggers, and we have also bifurcated them into regular and occasional dark chocolate consumers, and somebody who purchases through different channels. Basis this, we come up with this interventions through all 4 Ps. Firstly, promotions, wherein we highlight health benefits and also rewards. Secondly, packaging, wherein we also give trial packs and at a very good price point so that people who are skeptical can initially try it. In addition to that, we also want to do a heavy distribution, wherein we want to collaborate with quick commerce as well as retail stores in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because 77% of chocolate purchase happen in retail stores. Now, all of this, we bring them together through our strategy called Blitz and Build, wherein we try to focus initially on rapid awareness creation through our Sprint to Bonville and Baldwin Cricket Gold Rush strategies, which increase awareness among all types of consumers. Then we try to foster customer loyalty and keep them engaged through the other products that we have. We also increase collaboration through schools to introduce children to this category, and we also collaborate with quick commerce apps so that we can have bite-sized Bonville with other Mondelez products.
Quickly moving on to the Blitz strategy, we begin with this strategy by getting an inspiration from the people who are health conscious. We organize various walkathons across the country. Second is organizing the Cricket Gold Rush. So here, the chocolate bars that we gave you, some of them had a golden ticket. This has an inspiration from the Charlie and Chocolate Factory and the feelings of love for cricket, basically. So here, if you open this golden ticket bar, there is a QR code which you scan, and it leads you to a sample page which will provide you, say, rewards in terms of meet and greet with the players or even cash benefits. Moving on to the build phase. Now here, the key insight was when we did the FGIs, they said they want their children to adapt to the taste of dark chocolates. So here we believe that partnering with schools for sporting events will help us to achieve that motive. Second is moving to the cocoa hours. Now here, this is an innovative metaverse option where we believe that all of our campaigns that we have organized come together. These are the places where customers can come here if they want to redeem their awards. Finally, we want to sustain our strategy. Again, coming up with bite-sized packages and bundling them, offering them as bundles via quick commerce as Zomato or Swiggy, and using 3D billboards and interactive kiosks to help our strategy to be sustained. So, talking about the implementation roadmap, 2024 is when we strategize, we plan, so that we are ready for organizing these campaigns. 2025 is when we have the Cricket Gold Rush, partnering with the IPLs, and 2026 is when we organize the marathon. And based on all the data that we have gotten, we improvise, we innovate, and stay steady for the coming up strategies. Talking about the financials, because this is a key crux to keep our strategy as a sustainable, feasible strategy. So given that we were given a target to achieve a 10x growth, what we have done is we have taken into account, we have tried to balance our strategy on the basis of being optimistic plus being conservative as well, and walking through all the costs that we might incur in terms of be it kiosks, be it 3D billboards, or organizing all the events which were in the blitz or build phase. We believe that we can achieve the 10x growth. And finally, to conclude, we believe that the build and blitz strategy that we are coming up with, it's a cohesive strategy. It provides a 360-degree long-term plan to make Bonville the first dark chocolate choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's start the shallow roast, please.
So Domino's actually reported maximum revenue during IPL for last year, and Cadbury Dairy Milk has had multiple successful campaigns during the IPL. So firstly, how do you match the brand tonality of Bonville with IPL, and aren't you also cannibalizing the Dairy Milk ad campaign?
Initially, when Cadbury was launched in India, it was a kids brand. Then they made it an adult brand by launching a cricket campaign, actually, like Cadbury Dairy Milk. So we drew inspiration from that cricket is something that our country as a whole connects to. And when we want to drive growth of sales for something, we need to, connect with the audience. And I think cricket as a sport is something that is very on there. So having a ticket, IPL, a golden ticket, which also is a sense of excitement. And also the golden ticket that we have, the biggest price is the IPL ticket. But then you also get assured cashbacks. You might get some other Bonville rewards on quick commerce, because we are collaborating with them as well. So cricket, because of that emotion, and also Cadbury's legacy of being associated with cricket from a long time, is something that we're wanting to leverage through this promotion campaign.
And to add on to the question that you had asked about cannibalizing of the other segments, so we realized that eventually where the market is driving, right, the market is being driven to the healthier options. So we can't just leave behind those healthier options. So we need to take them together.
And if we don't tap into that market, somebody else will, because dark chocolate is going at 16% rate. So if we don't tap into it, others will. So might as well do that.
Okay. So you mentioned school-going kids as one of your major target groups. Don't you believe that you also mentioned that sugar content is a concern of parents? So don't you believe that the sugar content that is there in dark chocolate will prevent parents from not letting their kids consume any source of chocolate at all, and providing options which are actually healthy, not just healthier?
Okay, so to answer that, it is very difficult to keep kids away from chocolates. And also, as parents, anybody would want their kids to have something. And having a dark chocolate is, in comparison, better than having a milk chocolate. Also, we have also introduced many flavor variants which might cater to children's palate in general. So that was the rationale behind that. As opposed to milk chocolate, you can at least try dark chocolate, which is like, we interviewed parents actually, and they were very keen on they themselves said this actually, that we would want our children to try dark chocolates, because that option is available right now in Indian market.
So just to build on that question, we can still consider dark chocolate as a niche product. there are still a lot of parents who don't eat dark chocolate themselves. So what about those parents, which are majority? Why would they let their kids have something that they don't accustomed to it?
So that is where we are. Can I answer that? So that is where you know, our promotional campaigns also play a part. Like the walkathon that we had, it is to raise awareness among all kinds of audience that dark chocolate is actually a healthier segment as compared to the traditional chocolating options. So most tier 1 parents are actually millennials to like 40-year-old people who live in tier 1 cities are actually shifting to dark chocolate. But in tier 2, the penetration is less. We try to cater to them through trial packs first, like exposing them to the dark chocolate and creating awareness in general. Then they can maybe spiral down it to their children.
Yeah, the jury.
Okay, so help me understand a fundamental question. Why do people consume chocolate?
I think like it comes down from psychology. Consumption in general is the first like happy feeling that a kid has. Like when we are kid, the chewing feeling is something we cry because we are not fed. And taste buds trigger like happy feelings in your brain. So I think that is one of the reasons chocolate is consumed in the first place. So I think, yeah, and it is also an option of indulgence. Like whenever you want to have something sweet, Indian sweets in general are something that might be too sweet for some palates and also little less accessible. Also you have a wide variety of options, but with the influx of chocolate, what it does is gives you an easier option, accessible option, and it is also something that you can keep for a longer term. So you can, you know, that indulgence is that it's quick on there and it releases that happy hormone. At least that
So
is
good.
what
So
I think.
indulgence is the core reason why a lot of people have chocolates, right? So with respect to Bonewell, do you think the core proposition should stay at indulgence and then you talk about various other benefits, or you use health as a way to communicate about Bonewell and chocolate?
So I think indulgence can in general cater to both like normal chocolates or dark chocolates in general, but we are focusing on health for Bonewell right now, because when we are trying to increase awareness and we want to bring that shift in consumer preference, we would initially want to propose it as a healthy option as opposed to the other indulgence options that are available in the market. So this is an indulgence plus with added health benefits, like which to drive the consumer preference change.
Okay. I don't see a route to market strategy anywhere in your presentation. I didn't see that that you put up. So would you want to speak a little bit about it?
Implementation. You go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the implementation roadmap that we had in mind, because the kind of campaigns that we are proposing, they are huge campaigns. They can't just be done in say 3 or 6 months, and given that the IPL is coming up in 2025, we say that first 2024 we focus on the major campaigns, preparing for them, plus taking in hand the social media channels as together, because we can't leave the social media channels. We have to take a very holistic approach, and then that's how we move. Even in 2025, when we are moving, though the
Understood.
Yes.
So you launch the campaign, you do a lot of social media. Where will the shopper go to buy the product?
So when we were mentioning the collaboration and bundling strategies, we wanted to have a distribution at retail stores in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and also on quick commerce. So initially, while we are promoting this, we will also bundle a small size package of Bonewell with other Mondelez products. For example, somebody is buying a Dairy Milk or a Bonvita, we would want to, add a Bonewell small trial pack to the cart as a trial option. So which further drives and also introduce different flavor variants like spices and all of that. So those channels.
Yeah, maybe I'll need some help on your last page, right, on financials. I don't, especially 26, 27, just to see what's really happening, because the revenue seems to be doubling. But you'll maybe have to walk us through some assumptions that you have built in on this.
Yes. So the assumptions that we built in on this were, one key assumption here was that the increase in the consumption of dark chocolate that is happening via the campaigns that we are organizing, that increase in market, it's what we are capturing as a whole. This was one key assumption that we had to make, though we felt that it could be a too optimistic one. But
I think you've detailed a lot in terms of the costs, how they go up in terms
Yes.
of campaigns and what
Yes.
you've built out, but not really sure what the revenue or the growth drivers are here.
The key growth drivers are the increasing shift in consumer trend. Like 87% of population today wants to consume dark chocolate.
Which is not the case today. I mean, even if we didn't do anything, that would still be a growth driver.
Yeah, but then with our promotional package, we are promotional campaigns, we are thinking that would increase, and there is a 16% growth rate in the chocolate consumption year on year. So we are thinking of capturing the entire market through our campaigns.
just to add on this point, over the past 5 years, the increase has been of 16%. And now what we believe is that if we want to increase this rate of increase which is happening, that's where our strategies, that's where our proposals step in, because they are what making new customers or capturing more customers and driving them, making them aware of what dark chocolate is.
One of the rationale behind that assumption that we'll capture all the market is that when we did a lot of survey, people were of the thought that brand name doesn't apply much when they make dark chocolate purchases. For example, anybody would buy an Amul or a Bonville, but if Cadbury Dairy Milk is there, they want Cadbury Dairy Milk. So we want to create more awareness for Bonville, and also then through these promotional campaigns we can ensure that we attract the more market share.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Strat Masters. So we'll take a quick break now. We'll ask the jury, you can step out and have a discussion and let us know who the winners and the runners-up are. Yeah. So as a selfish marketeer, I'll just say that if you are in love or if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, these can be mutually exclusive set these days. So please watch the Silk film that is out. And if you're single and have nothing to do, please have a 5-star and watch the Valentine's Day campaign from 5 stars. So let's have a 5-minute break, and maybe the jury can go to the 19th floor boardroom and have a discussion. Thank you. If you guys need a comfort break, you can go there. Some of you please stay back. Shefali has a placard full of questions she has been given to us, so please stay back.
I'm not going to hold back anybody who needs a bio break, so please feel free. But don't use this as a chance to escape. I have nice, simple questions only.
Sir, may I take that glass? Thank you. Sir, please fasten your seatbelt. Ma'am, can I take that? Please fasten your seatbelt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're experiencing mild turbulence.
Oh my! Requesting you to please sit down and fasten your seatbelt.
Are you ready?
Everybody, go! Hey, get back into your seat. You need to sit down right now.
Can I have my charger? Charger!
Everybody,
Ma'am, one bite, ma'am, one bite.
sit down right now. Please sit down. Sir, the seatbelt sign is on. You have to sit down.
Just need my charger, ma'am.
Please, sir, have a seat. Thank you.
Cadbury Bourneville, a taste so intense it makes everything else intense.
Hi, is this seat taken? My friends call me AK. 47. Can I get a...
You need to grow up for this.
Of course.
New Cadbury Dark Milk. Chocolate for grown-ups. Cadbury Dark Milk. Chocolate for grown-ups.
Sir, may I take that glass? Thank you. So please fasten your seatbelt. Ma'am, can I take that? Please fasten your seatbelt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're experiencing mild turbulence.
Requesting you to please sit down and fasten your seatbelt.
Are you ready?
Everybody, down, down, down! Hey, come get back into your seat. You need to sit down right now.
Can I have my charger? Charger!
Everybody,
Ma'am, one bite. Ma'am, one bite.
sit down right now. Please sit down. Sir, the seatbelt sign is on. You have to sit down.
Just need my charger, ma'am.
Please, sir, have a seat. Thank you.
Cadbury Bourneville. A taste so intense it makes everything else intense.
Hi, is this seat taken? Ayan Kohli. My friends call me AK. 47. Can I get a...
You need to grow up for this.
Of course.
New Cadbury Dark Milk. Chocolate for grown-ups.
Really?
New Cadbury Dark Milk. Chocolate for grown-ups.
Sir, may I take that glass? Thank you. So please fasten your seatbelt. Ma'am, can I take that? Please fasten your seatbelt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're experiencing mild turbulence.
Requesting you to please sit down and fasten your seatbelt.
Are you ready?
Everybody, down, down, down! Hey, come get back into your seat. You need to sit down right now.
Can I have my charger? Charger!
Everybody,
Ma'am, one bite. Ma'am, one bite.
sit down right now. Please sit down. Sir, the seatbelt sign is on. You have to sit down.
Just need my charger, ma'am.
Please, sir, have a seat. Thank you.
Cadbury Bourneville. A taste so intense it makes everything else intense.
Hi, is this seat taken? Ayan Kohli. My friends call me AK. 47. Can I get a...
You need to grow up for this.
Of course.
New Cadbury Dark Milk. Chocolate for grown-ups.
What has been the biggest challenge for you in this entire competition?
So I think given the problem statement was so interesting, when we sat down to brainstorm, we had a lot of ideas and a lot of them were, around our personal biases and opinions. So we really had to separate that out and look at what the consumer was genuinely saying, even if we might not feel like that. And I think that was a challenge, and eventually when the final round had consumer immersion, it really helped us look at the voice of the consumer and not what we or our friends feel about Bonville.
Business is a hard taskmaster, guys. Now, for the last team, for you, they're on the phone. No, okay. I want to ask you, was the mentorship helpful for you? And exactly, tell me about your consumer immersion journey.
So we'll split the answer.
Yeah.
So definitely, mentorship was really crucial for us because we were going in every direction and every option possible. So mentorship kind of helped us to narrow down the options because we have had hundreds and hundreds of options, like she mentioned. And then obviously it comes down to one solution which we need to give, and to make sure that give returns. Talking about the consumer immersion program, that has given a different perspective, because we have spoken to a lot of people in the industry, different stakeholders, as we mentioned, distributors, or consumers, or nutritionists, everyone in the industry. But that FGD has given us a lot of newer perspective.
Thank you. Can we have the jury back now? And we can start with this.
I'll just ask one tiny question to Team Strat Masters that seems to be still strategizing about something. Team Strat Masters, your favorite Mondelez product? Not apart from Bonvilla. Silk. Crackle. Good choice. We'll invite the jury back.
So welcome back, everyone. Firstly, thank you, jury, for taking the time out. Thank you, jury, for taking the time out. Before we go ahead announcing the runner-ups and the winners, firstly, I just want to tell you how phenomenal this performance has been for you guys, right? Making it to the top 5 finalist teams is no small feat. It is a testament to your talent, dedication, and the incredible journey that you guys have been on. You have not only overcome substantial challenges, but also triumphed over more than 1,000 entries and 11,000 participants. This is truly commendable, and definitely please give a big round of applause to yourself, your competitors, and all the people who have supported you. Now I'd like to call upon Nagina and Nitin to come on stage, and we will present you a certificate and a hamper for each and every one of you. Let's start with the team All-Stars from Tapni, Manipal. Can you be in center, guys? Thank you. Team Ninjas from XLRI. Thank you. Team Sky from I Am Shillong. Team Crimson Tides from SCMHRD Pune. Thank you. Team Strat Masters from I Am Bangalore. Thank you. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Nagina. The facilities team, can you check on the air conditioning over here, please? So yeah, so can I get, so now we'll move towards the announcement. We'll have the runners-up announcement first, followed by the winners. So I'll invite Des and Sonali to come on stage and announce the runner-ups for the program.
I think it was a fabulous experience. My second time here meeting a bunch of you. So really good, well done. I think, we heard born well, right? You don't buy it, you earn it. So you guys pretty much have earned the spot that you are in right now. So congratulations for being here today. And then we have the runners-up position that goes to Team Tap Me.
Big round of applause, guys.
Congratulations, well done. Good job.
Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Thank you, Des. Thank you, Sonali. Now, can I invite Nitin and Nagina to be on stage? So, yes, guys, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. Who will be taking home the coveted grand prize of 3.5 lakhs and a PPO? So, before you announce that, PPI. Nagina, any words?
So, like Sonali, this is also my second. I had just sort of joined Mondelez and walked into the Maestros. Actually, parts of it I also saw when I was on notice period. So it's my second, so I've experienced it end to end. I think it's a great platform, and I see it as more not about who gets the PPI or who gets the cash prize, but I think it's a good way for us to bring our brand alive or even further alive. And I think you pretty much act like outsider, insiders for the 2.5, 3 months that you work on the case. So I think that for me is the big one. But great show, guys. There is a winner, but there's also efforts by each one of you, which over the last 2.5, 3 months that you put in are clearly evident. So it was great.
Yeah, no, wonderful. I mean, this is really an elite group. You have come here, there's so many people who participated, and this is really the 5 teams that did the best. And each one of you presented very well today. I was talking to Ashwin, who leads this brand, and there's some great ideas already, which, you know, he can actually try and implement some of those in real life, which is what we really wanted. This was a real business case, real business challenge and opportunity that we have. So again, very well done to all of you. Big round of applause for all your efforts. And as far as the winner goes, so the winner is, I am Calcutta. The winning campus is our friendly neighborhood campus from Jamshedpur, Accelerate Jamshedpur.
Woo! Congratulations, guys.
Very well done.
Congratulations, very well deserved, guys. Guess that's it from us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the jury. Thank you, everyone who participated. Thank you, everyone who made this event possible. So, yeah, please, there are some snacks out there, so please grab some snacks before you go. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
A huge shout out to Kritika LS, who's been the mastermind behind Mondelez Maestros. Thank you, Kritika, and thank you everybody else. And thank you to everyone in the online audience who has stuck with us and watched the entire show. Have a good day, and Maestros Season 4 signing off. Until the next season.